2025 is the day today, and it is a Saturday. We're so glad you could join us. It is time for the dialogue. My name is Edirisa Muwonge. We always see every single Saturday, by God's grace, to sit and deliberate on matters of national importance. We do apologize for the last 2 weeks. You've not been able to make it, but here we are. Here we are, and we're very grateful to Almighty God. This is a platform that we use, to deliberate on matters of national importance. Like I keep saying, it's everyone's responsibility to keep this country intact by talking nice things about your country. It's another way you can help to propel it from one stage of development to another. President Museveni told you that in this term, that in case he wins the presidency, which I believe that no one is, contesting, that is going to bounce back. He says that this time around is going to help Uganda, propel it to that. To the group of the developed countries. The other day, we were declared middle income status country, though so many people are still, contesting that. But the NRM government believes that we are there, and he believes that the next time is going to be working toward this, propelling us into, the class of developed countries. Speaker of President Museveni, his NRM party has been busy electing SEC members. Dust was raised in Kololo. We saw a number of incumbents, beaten. But there's one position that stood out of the rest because of two, candidates who raised dust, who spoke, ill against each other. And they were talking about the position of vice chairperson for females, that is the females. And we're talking about former Speaker of Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, and the current Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among. And the latter emerged victorious. However, before the election, a lot was said. Kadaga expressed her disappointment in front of the president, and the president also had to respond. I loved the point where, the point where she said that without handshake, her people back in Busoga, it may not go well with them, and so she meant to say that the NRM may lose support there. But the president was quick to respond to this. He was like, she should stop portraying herself as the one who's, pulling the NRM support in Busoga. But President Museveni himself has done a lot for those people to like him. He went on to mention a number of things he has done for Busoga. So as we speak now, a new SEC committee, is in place, having the president, the chairman, who has not changed. The vice chairman has also not changed. The vice chairman, chairperson for females, I told you, Anita Among. For Western, we have a new face now. Eastern also have a new face. Entrepreneurship League, it was postponed, and so was the youth, the youth. Now, to discuss all this, I've been joined by a man from the DF, Democratic Front. His name is Amuriat Pascal. You're the Deputy President for Democratic Front for Eastern Region.
That's true.
Good to have you.
Yeah, first of all, I can say good morning, but also to thank you for this maiden show. For me as an individual, I know many persons of the DF have been here, the Honorable Mukaku. But myself, it's my
Mr. Henry has also been here with us.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a maiden show for me, and it's an important show. We don't take it for granted. We'd like to thank you for giving us an opportunity to always dialogue on BTM. We thank you so much. But importantly, like you said, I'm the Deputy President for Democratic Front from Eastern Uganda. I'm also an aspiring Member of Parliament for Sorot East Division. So we are doing quite a lot of work, and since it is just a preamble to start with, yesterday we were in Gulu City, nominating different candidates from Acholi, Lango, and West Nile, and we had 6 members of Parliament in that Greater North. We had 2 LC5 and several councillors. So for us, it's a work in progress. It's something that we are working towards to make sure that we have a better country, we have a happy people.
It's the first time I'm having a DF candidate, donned in your colors. And out of curiosity, How did you settle down on this settle for these colors?
Well, we have three major colors in our party. One of them is hunter green. And you know that our symbol is a tree. And a big tree symbolizes a place of dialogue. It's a place where we sit down to discuss issues. And people say once you know the sun is hot, the bus is hot, whatever challenges there, you come and sit and exchange ideas under a tree, African tradition, but also a symbol for us to discuss about environmental issues. So green is an important color, it's a major color, hunter green. We also have orange, burnt orange, and light blue. These colors are particularly chosen because of the significance that they have. Blue.
What is the significance?
I've just given you an example of the hunter green with nature, dialogue.
All right. I also have Mr. Tim Levia Konapeso, is a political analyst, but also NRM leaning.
Yeah, thank you very much, Edirisa. I'm more than delighted to be here. Good morning to the viewers. Good morning to the BTM family for always giving us the platform to discuss and share notes, pertinent notes, by the way, with our citizens, rather brothers and sisters. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm also joined by, he's a panelist, Mr. Vance Matovu. He's the national coordinator for FRONASA, Front for National Salvation. President Museveni cannot speak for like 2 minutes without mentioning FRONASA. That's how he holds it in high esteem. Under FRONASA, we did ABCD. Under FRONASA, we did ABCD. Good sir.
For us being the amount of 3 graduates, we are out. Because when political parties were advancing in Uganda, they came with Congress. That era was Congress. All these political parties you see, to be branding the DP, the front, the whatever, came under the wave of conference. But the problem came when they were housed in Lancaster House. For mind setting them, for them to remain black and sing and uprise and uphold the white man's folly. That's how things change into chaos, which we call revolution, wars, and conflicts. And therefore turns out to be opposition. No any political party in Uganda that is coming to lead people, is coming to lead a dying opposition. So let me end there and open it to move.
Okay, let me start with Mr. Amuriat here. Here you're unveiling new offices in northern Uganda.
Yes.
Those who thought that DF has its epicenter in Masaka. I don't even want to say Buganda, but Masaka. And they were surprised to hear that you guys are opening offices in northern Uganda, particularly in Gulu. And here you are, president for Eastern region. Has the DF in short time spread all over the country? Yet.
My brother and my colleagues in studio, it's important to know that the DF is the fastest growing party. By fastest, I mean really fast. Because not only have we gone to Acholi, not only do we have roots in Lango in West Nile, and like I stated earlier on, we launched our office yesterday and launched political activities. The Right Honorable Matthias Mpuga was with us and the national leadership. And so we were able to launch the office, but also importantly to nominate candidates, to kickstart nomination of candidates. By the time we left Acholi, we had 6 members of parliament nominated, including the Honorable Chiro Lucy, the former member of parliament for Padel. We had different high-level individuals that got nominated. LC5 chairpersons, LC3 chairpersons, and various councillors got nominated yesterday. Number 2, a few months ago, 1.5 months ago, we were in Soroti, and we did an office launch in Soroti, but also launched a few activities. And as I can tell you, we have 56 candidates in Soroti. No, not in Soroti, but in Teso. This includes 5 members of parliament. And recently, we had the LC5 chairperson of Ngora district local government, a sitting chairperson,
joining you,
has joined us officially. We welcomed him on Monday this week. And so...
Wait, why are you calling them candidates? I thought you'd be calling them something else, like people are expressing interest. Have you already, recognized them as candidates?
Well...
Have you already taken them through the process?
Just hold on. When someone fills a form to express interest, is already a candidate. And a candidate must go through a process. And the next process, of course, we have a timeline within which candidates must express. Remember, next week is nomination for local governments from LC5 going down below. And so...
no, actually, this is what I meant. Sorry to interrupt you, because I don't understand. This is what I meant. Do you have that your internal mechanism through which you get candidates? The NRM subjected them to a primary election. NUP...
For us, like I said...
What is it that you do to arrive at candidates? Yes.
We are doing a recruitment drive, a rapid recruitment and mobilization strategy. So there are individuals who are expressing interest. We have a form, we have an electoral commission headed by Honorable Obowa Henry, our prospective member of parliament for FRONASA and the team. So what happens is...
Isn't he also the chairman of the electoral commission?
He is. So what happens now is that you express interest. When you express interest, you are nominated, you fulfill the requirements.
I have to interrupt because I'm not asking this question. I'm going to allow you. Trust me. I'm going to allocate you all the time that you need to explain. But out of curiosity, not only for me, but also for the people who are listening in there, and also this gentleman. I know Lubowa Henry. He is the chairperson of the electoral commission.
That's true.
He's also going to contest as a candidate.
That's true. But I've not yet seen him express interest.
So it's the first time I'm seeing this happen in a political party. I don't see Tango Doi of NRM contesting for any political office.
Well,
I don't see the NUPs.
I think you must accept one thing, that DF has a constitution and we have a framework.
Because my worry is about the conflict of interest.
Well, where there's conflict of interest, we have a mechanism of addressing, again, constitutionally. Now, where there are two or more candidates...
It's your constitution?
Yes. Where there are two or more candidates, there's a process that they must go through. The process will include, of course, if there's a consensus building, where there's failure of consensus, then you go to a primary. And that primary is purely an agenda of the constituency. For example, if it is Soroti East Division, if someone on Nansana, you're asking, if two or more candidates come through, the constituency sits down to take them through a process of either consensus. If they don't agree, they're subjected to a vote. It's a transparent process. It doesn't mean that Honorable Lubo and myself are immune, including Honorable Mpuga. I can tell you that expression of interest, we have opened it up from LOC1 to presidential candidate. So all that, whoever...
What's the role of the chairman electoral commission, or chairperson electoral commission?
Chairperson of electoral commission, for him, his role is to receive candidates who are expressing interest, and where they are, by the timeline which it ends next week, for those that are going for LC5, those ones will automatically be endorsed by the party.
Okay.
But
Lubowa is contesting for a certain office.
Yes, he's contesting, but also remember,
the constituents, I think, is Nansana. I want to understand, and I'm not asking these questions for myself.
I want to explain to you, because why I'm explaining to you, the commission is not one individual. The commission has a range of commissioners. In Teso, we have assistant commissioners. In Acholi, we have put assistant commissioners. Even Lubowa has vice chairpersons. Where there is conflict of interest, for example, where you, the chairperson of the EC, has a conflict of interest, you step aside and allow. This is normal. You step aside and allow a process, a due process, to go through. So the vice chairperson, Council Grace Nakanwaji, will also take through the next steps in case Lubowa has a competitor, but nobody yet has expressed interest.
Go on and inform us what is happening.
So I was telling you that we're in a rapid mobilization strategy. I've just told you in Teso we have 56 candidates. In Busoga we have 3 members of parliament and different candidates that have also come through. We have, I can conclusively tell you that we have over 1,400 candidates in the DF. And the reason I'm saying it's the fastest growing, because the number of persons and caliber, the stature of individuals who are joining the party and expressing interest are by far. If you look through my phone book now, you'll be able to see I'm receiving quite a number of people expressing interest, and I'm referring them to the different offices where they need to go and pick expression of interest, but also where they can get additional information. So we are on a mobilization strategy. And we are doing many things simultaneously. We are not doing one thing at a go. I mean, we're not doing only one thing. So as we are opening offices and we are recruiting, we are also increasing visibility. So our visibility, you said many times people don't put on the regalia. You can see I'm on regalia now. And others are also getting the regalia. T-shirts are going out. Materials are going out. If you went to some parts of this country like Soroti City, you'd be amazed at how visible the DF is.
You said how are we going to arrive at candidates? Here we are 3 people come and contest for the same position.
Yes.
How are we going? What is the criteria going to use?
The first criteria is the 3 of you to consent, to agree if you can give one person. Where you fail, you will go through a primary by the local constituency. If it is, for example, Nansa,
within our constituency.
Within your constituency. At the center, it is not determined. The center only will provide support that is required for you to go through a primary. Maybe the resources, basic materials, and people, they vote their leader. Our belief is that we need to spread power so that we don't have one big electoral commission in Kampala that determines matters in Masaka, determines matters in Soroti, determines matter in Gulu. No. That one has already been decentralized. And this is a process that we have agreed on. And I think so far so good.
Okay.
It's a work in progress so far. No major. Of course, there are challenges, but so far so good.
So far so good. I'll come back to you shortly. Mr. Vian, I want you to help me understand this. Here is a party called the DF. And the chairperson, he has said so many things, but me something that has caught my attention and up now it is refusing to sink into me. The chairperson of the Electoral Commission is also contesting for an elective position. I know Lubowa, he's been a member of this show, the Dialogue, before. He's contesting for a certain position in Nansana, where I believe that other candidates are going to emerge and express interest in the same. And how is it like?
I don't know why it's not sinking in you, because I think
I'm failing to understand. I'm imagining that I'm the chairman of the Electoral Commission, and I'm interested in representing his constituency. Amuriat also comes and also shows interest.
Yes.
How am I supposed to favor him?
Like I've told you.
Let me first speak his opinion.
Step aside and allow the process to go through. You step aside.
My influence doesn't step aside.
But if
These,
you step aside,
the people I've left there are my subordinates. My influence stays. Let's first listen to his opinion.
Okay.
Help me understand this.
The opinion goes with the law they are using. The word is simple. Expression of interest. An interested party, whether doesn't contest by himself, already has a side. So they have to change and reform that law and come out with a guiding word. This is why you see most political parties, they have in-house and internal fragmentations and conflicts. The word interest in political philosophy and in principles of negation of the negation and how people can see and sort out things is not, I'm interested. I feel, I wish to be so by whatever. This is what is influencing all political parties to employ even unapplicable characters and methods of creating what they call formations of cliques, groups, and group formations, jumping from here to the ancient Marxist theory and sociology, because they are not here. They are with interest. They don't want to read us, but the interest is pumping them to come in the practice. That's what is causing so. What they should do, beginning with the electoral laws, they should kick out. Let you come to consult people and know whether they will support you, and there you come, you contest, or you seek to delegate them on that post. than interest. When we remain with interests, we shall lead astray. Because an interest is having what a target you want to achieve. This is why you see the playing of the political parties in Uganda is only for a certain class. They have formed DF. But now, me, a member of DF, you find they have some laws to punish and exclude with a word they called qualifications. Because you find all parties, it doesn't go with one party. I want to be quoted right. All parties, those to serve the members are with qualifications, both from schools. And they think that that one who didn't go to school, who doesn't know English, or who has never seen anywhere by lectures, by teaching, by whatever class you are in, you are not able to fit in any leadership. So now, the conflicting, the queries, the anxiety, the overhauling interests are with the alumni, are not with all members. Others were left from O level to the thumb print, are left to support, are left to elect, are left to be delegated, whether they like or not. This is why you see in Uganda, leadership is only for those who are European qualified, with those studying decadent. They have what they call curriculum. The curriculum is not for politics of Uganda. Whether you go to any research papers we have everywhere, or whether you go to universities, all those are ancient. For example, this president, what he studied are centuries of wisdom, which are making him to qualify with interests you are telling me. This is why they are bringing ancient laws to confuse the thinking and the organizations of politics. In the electoral commission, they call them political parties, and others are political organizations. Take an example of termites. The reason why they have solidarity, everybody plays a role. They don't have those grasses that this termite, when they are building an anthill, this is why they build it. They are very small, they don't sink as we are, but to remove it, you need a high caliber machine, either a bulldozer, either what, because of solidarity. Because of not, now these people, they have a good agenda, but they will fail to have people to move with them. When it necessitates, they have opened an office. Members are very many there, but that office will be for few to step in.
Why do you think so? He has already told you it's the fastest growing political party, and you're pessimistic that they won't grow that big.
The law, we are handling the law in place, because without an enabling
which law have you accessed?
What law are we talking about?
Because we are using our constitution.
They have a constitution.
So I don't know whether you are referring to which law, the Ugandan law or the DF law, because I'm really sticking to
I don't mind whether DF law, that law allows you in Soroti to be qualified for presidency. Me, I'm not allowed. I am your support of DF, but I didn't go to school. Are we together there?
No, be specific. What I'm trying to say, that the law is being selective, or
Yes.
That is it, in simple terms.
For me, what I understand is
whether you write a constitution, cosmetically, it is for
I want to interject a bit.
Please.
That we are operating within the framework of the law in Uganda. The Constitution of Uganda has provided parameters for which positions you must qualify for and how you qualify for it. And if you qualify for a position under the Ugandan law, there is no way DF will lower its minimum standard. So it's not us who have created it. Like maybe said, it's Eurocentric. It's not our creation. It's not our mistake. Those are conversations that we need to have as a country. But as of now, we are all operating. There's a minimum for president, a minimum for MP, minimum for LC5. And going down, I think LC1 and other councils.
Do you have some positions that you have shielded for certain people?
There are no positions shielded.
Like it is in the NRM?
No, I can tell
that you can't contest. That's your team here, a member of parliament, a member of the NRM, but cannot contest for the highest office within the NRM. That is the chairmanship. Because that is set aside for someone else.
Like I said, our constitution, any member can qualify for any position. You see, Article 21 said all DF members meeting the legal requirement for.
Let me give an example about you. You are now the chairman. You are the president.
Yes.
And you're the express president in Soroti East.
Yes.
If someone emerged and wanted to contest for the same position,
he will come and
are you sure you're not going to use the influence? No. What is the law saying about that?
What the law says.
How is the law going to protect such?
Yes. For example, our nomination process. The only way we sort political conflict at the apex is elections. The moment there are 2 or 3 more candidates and they fail to agree, usually we start with consensus, but they say, yeah, you must use internal primaries for all elective officers. It's clear in the law. So if someone wants Soroti East, they come, if I am voted out. But also leadership is about influence. If I use my influence to convince voters to vote for me, it is my strategic advantage. You may be better. And you could actually influence. You have seen that some people lose elections, even when they are. So for us, for example, even the presidential candidate for DF, it is clear, we've said from LOC1, if you want even presidency, pick your forms, pay 500,000, nobody has yet come. It's even up now, I call upon all DF members and prospective members, come, go to the DF office, fill a form that I'm interested in presidency, and if you come and oppose, we will push you to the National Delegates Conference and you contest as president.
Mr. Otim,
yes.
I haven't read the NRM constitution, but I don't think Mr. Tango Doi is allowed to contest for an office. Or can he?
You see, issues of
or if he did, what would
internal party politics are very complex. And it stretches from the way we look at the majority party to the least party. We're talking about NRM to parties like, I don't know if
is there any list party?
DP,
I think there is no list parties.
There are list parties, those that get the least number of votes. That is how we
you're using votes, okay.
Yes, in percentages. So, in NRM as a party, we have never seen incidences where we have the chairperson of the Electoral Commission rather step in to contest for a political or elective position.
And
I think in the previous conference that we had under NRM, Tango Doi almost got problems with his own son. Exactly. And that's why you saw the president come in and suspend the youth elections.
No, I think what Tanga should have done was to step aside at that election of the youth.
Yes.
So they have conflict of interest. Step aside.
Did he engage in it?
The young son,
he should have stepped aside.
The son says that the father was not involved.
He wasn't involved. He didn't.
He only came in to announce the results.
He shouldn't even have been the one to announce. You see, when you step aside, completely step aside.
Now, just a second. Now here,
step aside.
Mr. Amuriat now is getting my point.
Step aside.
Just a second. We are talking about just the son, just the son of the chairman of the Electoral Commission. What about in your party where the chairman himself is engaged?
That is what I wanted to do. You see, in any party, in any internal party, politics, we always have room or rather a procedure or rather guidance, a guiding formula, in that the top level executive positions sometimes in a country like Uganda have been rather earmarked, or rather earmarked for a few people. And that is very evident in how we have seen the current procedures going. You see, for NUP, there's been a particular fiancé of how things are
presidential
and it led to the formation of Democratic Front. I believe that my brother amuriat will attest to that. We also have a scenario in DP. What does that mean? The big man himself said, no, I am still very eligible and I can take it on. We have issues also with UPC. So you can see that executive positions have always been a very big hindrance. In as much as the constitutions, the party constitutions speak about having free will, any candidate or anybody that has a qualification has a free will to contest for particular positions. But it also comes with how the dialogue, or rather how you perceive the current, information around. If the majority have decided that amuriat Pascal is going to remain as the president for Eastern Uganda, then there's going to be no objection, because majority might have gone hand in hand with him. His influence is still strong, so he is very relevant to the internal, or rather to the party. To the party. I speak about the political party. So his relevance could be at a high rate. So he will still be very tangible to the internal affairs of the party. That is happening. Now, the only point I would disagree with Democratic Front is, and this has, I think, to be streamlined, because even me, I'm confused as to how a chairperson of electoral commission that is handling the affairs of your party as your political party can decide.
So, like I said,
can decide to come and contest.
Just give me a second to express his
you know why?
surprise.
We must not allow.
Wait, I'm coming back.
We must not allow the wrong things to continue.
First, allow him to express his surprise. Then I come back to you.
Most of these things are like a virus or like a syndrome that can easily, multiply and become very dangerous, catastrophic. So we have to avoid these things. If today Democratic Front has such a mechanism that they have not been able to subdue something that is in that category, other political parties might borrow a leaf. Tomorrow, if Democratic Party raised their hand and said there was no fair play in such a thing, they'll say, but it was you people that started it first. So as the executive, possibly you look at it and then say that we as a political party, if anyone has an executive position, then you are not liable to contest for an elective position, because that jeopardizes how you handle the affairs, and then you lose credibility as a political party.
Well, myself, I'm not seeing, someone who's also interested in, representing NASAN in Parliament. That is the person who's contesting for the same position, like Mr. Lubowa. I don't think that person is going to be content when Mr. Lubowa is the one who's going to be chosen as the favorite candidate for the DF. The other person may be like, this person may have used his influence, and which is going to be the source of internal divisions within your political party, which is very new. And why don't you avoid such things and say, let me give an example. I know you may not want to take it as the example, but let us use the NRM as an example here. Look at positions like the Secretary General. Mr. Todong and the former, the former Secretary General, was it Mrs. Lumumba?
Lumumba, yes.
They were pulled out of Parliament. If you are going to become the Secretary General of a party like the NRM, you're not supposed to be in Parliament.
In elective politics.
The Secretary General and the Deputy, they were pulled out of elective politics. You should have done the same thing. Chairman, to avoid conflict of interest, Chairman of the Electoral Commission is not supposed to engage in elective politics. You are supposed to be neutral to avoid the drama that is about to emerge, political party.
I think for me, we like I said, we have our constitution. And the question should be, are we working within the law? We are not here to follow anybody's agenda. We are here to work within the laws of Uganda, but also work within methods which we believe can work for us and for the country. As an epitome of democracy, as an institution of democracy. And so, for example, if NRM has decided that their party leaders don't contest. That is their own. We also have our strategy to say, okay, we also need individuals who are politically active.
Maybe you're doing this. You're doing all this because you're still a small party in terms of numbers. Could be that the reason.
No, we are not small in numbers. I have just told you we have over 1,400 candidates, and I can tell you people are paying their money membership across the country.
It's very cheap.
Well,
it's affordable.
It's
how much
2,000.
is it?
Okay,
2,000.
But you see how many people are willing to pay for political parties. How many political parties are people paying membership? How many? How many? If we really ask, how many? Even NRM, how many are paying membership? How many? So the issue is people to say.
Any you pay 1,000.
Yeah, the people pay, but people are paying the 2,000.
This you pay. It's actually slightly higher than yours.
But you see, for us,
NRM is for free.
NRM is for free.
For free. For us, ours is. We want you to subscribe. It is our modus operandi. Where do we get the money from? We must have membership. People express interest. There are different levels of membership. Those who are sustaining, those who just pay one-off, and you are a member of the party. But our issue is other parties do not set an agenda for us. And I can tell you, within the laws I've just read for you, we do not bar anybody from contesting any political position, from LOC1 to presidency, as long as you meet the requirements. And the requirements have been determined by
the Electoral Commission,
the National Executive Committee, to say, okay, let us set fees. That you see there are fees if you want to.
You have NEC already?
Yes, we have NEC.
How did you arrive at those members?
We had a delegates conference in Masaka.
Yes.
We had a delegates conference of over 1,500
I remember,
where I was elected. I am not appointed. You understand? So we went.
Have you met already?
We have met, as you see.
Meeting?
The problem is many people seem not to understand what is happening in the party, and I'm happy you called us here. We had a delegates conference where members of NEC were elected from the presidency. I am deputy president for Eastern. Yesterday we confirmed the deputy president for Northern Uganda. The Honorable Anena Okumu is our deputy president for Northern Uganda. We have gone through a process, and I can tell you the Right Honorable Mpuga and the colleagues, these are legal brains. They understand the institutional framework. They have experience of running institutions. So it's.
I saw somewhere that the offices you opened in Gulu were previously owned by the NUP.
I hear so. I also don't know that it is true. But if it's true,
you know what is happening.
If it is true, the landlord or the landlady of that house is the Honorable Santa, a member of Parliament for Pade. She's a member of PPPP, the only candidate of PPP. She offered her house. We had a conversation with her. We agreed. We have a tenancy agreement. So I think for me, it's not that we are taking over anybody's office. It's just that we are looking for office space, and she was available to say, I can offer you my office. With my home as your office, please pay this amount and so on. So for me, that's they are talk that a bit cheap, which we don't want to focus on. But I can tell you, for sure.
No, you are. That is not a cheap talk, because DF, you've been actually working lately you've been attacking the NUP directly.
No, we are not attacking.
So that you can sway its members into the DF.
Listen, have you heard me talk about NUP in this conversation? Have you heard? You are the one mentioning it now. For us, I have told you, we are attracting membership from.
Your president has been at the center stage, attacking his counterpart.
Well, I have not. I don't think Honorable Mpuga is that cheap to begin attacking. If they are attacking, then I have not heard Honorable Mpuga directly attack anybody. Our agenda, and yes, we have a minimum agenda, which I will discuss shortly. But I wanted us to understand that we have a minimum agenda for the country. We have our pillars. There are 3 pillars. One of them is the issues of reforms, which Honorable Mpuga has tabled even before Parliament. The 8 reforms that we believe, and many other reforms that will come through. We have the pillar of transition and the pillar of reconciliation. So these 3, our minimum agenda. Now, because Uganda is a country, now you know Uganda, people are hurting. There's been a lot that has been on.
What role does Mr. Abed hold in your party?
Dr. Abed Bwanika is the Treasurer General. He's the one who does the resource mobilization and is in charge of all finances for the party. And
he believes in this pillar. You just mentioned the 3rd pillar, reconciliation.
Yes, he does. He does believe in it.
He's been here attacking NUP right, left, and center.
Yeah, well, like I said,
he doesn't speak for 3 minutes unless he has attacked Kyagulanyi as an individual.
But you see, Dr. Bed is an individual. We are a party. You must understand that I'm giving you the minimum agenda of the party. And if there are challenges as such, we will communicate them in SEC and say, okay, we need to do ABCD. But for us, our minimum agenda, and we don't have to be swayed. Because I have told you we're having members of NRM joining, the 4 candidates in Soroti, in Teso, sorry, Ngora, Serere, Soroti are all candidates coming from FDC and NRM, and many are joining. So even NUP, they are joining. But you see, our focus is not on attacking one
it's understandable. Party. It's understandable.
It's not
and very healthy for a political party to sway members of another to come and join.
Yes, because
that's what politics is all about.
Our role is not.
You have to attract numbers.
That's why you see, if we're not a very attractive party, I would not be in DF. I have been in UPC. You know this. I have been in UPC and I've
for Uganda's case, I've seen politicians actually have their personal interests. For you people to choose to join certain political organizations, they always look for, organizations that can favor their personal interests. Probably you were a small fish in the UPC and you chose to join the DF.
Whatever you want to call it, whether small or
and I'm just saying.
Whether small
I'm just saying.
But
let me qualify this. Let me justify this. Don't get it the wrong way. Here you are, member of the DF, and not just a member, president of the Eastern region.
Yes.
Something you may not have achieved when you're in the UPC.
Okay, like I said, I didn't put myself there. Importantly, in UPC, I was a chairman of a city. 2, I was a flag bearer for Soroti East. So I also come in, well, you can say small fish, but those are 2, I was a member of National Council in UPC.
Oh, you're big.
Yes, so I am not just
I wasn't even talking about it, but I was talking about politicians in Uganda. That they always front their personal interests.
But you see,
someone sits as like, if I join this political party, being a political party that is new
of course,
on the block,
politics is about interest. I agree with you that politics is about interest. Everybody has an interest in whatever they are pushing for, an agenda. But you see, where there's convergence of ideas and minds, and I can tell you, there seems to be a convergence of ideas of different people from different political parties. DF is a collection of different political groupings and different entities who have said, I think we believe in the transition, we believe in reconciliation, and we believe in reforms. If you don't believe in these 3, then DF is the wrong place for you to be.
Okay.
Because we are having a new conversation that we don't want to continue with whatever is happening. You know that President Museveni has been here for 40 years. It should not happen again, that we are having someone ruling Uganda for 40 years. No.
You also have that on top on the agenda?
Of course, we do not want it to happen again. We also, of course. But our approach, like I said, every political party has its approach. We believe in engagement and dialogue. Those that believe in other methods of violence and whatever, they can also engage.
We believe in dialogue.
Yeah, we believe in engagement. This is why we're engaging here. We're engaging every day. But also there are individuals who say, for us, will not conform. It's okay, they can use that approach. Even in the US, it was okay. While Malcolm X was using radical approaches, Martin Luther King was engaging. So if we are, if we are,
the 2 succeeded.
Yeah, who succeeded? So even Nelson Mandela, with all the approaches he used, for Nelson Mandela to get power in South Africa, it needed an engagement. I can tell you, Russia is fighting Ukraine, Israel, and whatever. But at the end of the day,
I want to bring in Mr. Matovu here, because before you came on air, he was actually attacking you. Before you arrived, he was attacking a strategy of dialogue and what. Is it what you're talking about?
So for us to believe in engagement, whoever doesn't believe in engagement,
he was saying it in your absence, but now that you raised it and he's here, I want you to analyze their strategy, the ideology, where they say they also believe in dialogue.
We believe in engagement.
When I was starting with him, Mr. Tim out there, I heard you had a problem with that. Are you saying they are not likely to succeed if they take that direction of engagement and dialoguing?
Okay, as I exhaust and come to that one, that of double jeopardy, the law of equity and principles of equity. They say, who seeks equity must equity yourself. When you are a commission,
whoever seeks for equity must come with clean hands.
Yes,
that's what they say.
When you are a commission of elections in a certain party, you really down to compete and interest. Equity doesn't allow it, it knocks it out. And that one which you have read to us knocks it out. I have marked, for us who didn't go to school.
So what's wrong with this? What is wrong with the constitution?
Why is it not
No, be patient. Okay. You have a problem of talking, of not listening.
No, you see,
You
I
need-
also don't want
No, you have
to go to
talked
the
Now-
for
now you're
hours.
justifying what he said. He
have
said you don't
talked for hours. I have not responded. I waited my time.
Okay.
So learn that one. In that book, you have quoted a phrase. I have marked one word, legal requirement. You will extend it. Let me go to the dialogue. Because when the law favors you alone, it is yours alone. That's why I've marked only one word. Let's go to the dialogue. The dialogue goes with the space. And are you leading the dialogue and accommodating others? In the parliament, those who were representing us began with National Consultative Forum for Political Parties and Political Organizations. Because of the interests I have been exposing out, they freezed it to iPod. The issue which was for all registered political parties came to be for those housed in the August House called Parliament, who will totally fail because there in the NCF there were many, now here they are few. And those who should back them neutrally were kicked out. The neutral body in Parliament, they are the independents. Those ones cannot go to the dialogue there.
in iPod.
Therefore, being few, when you are few, to engage somebody who is more powerful than you, I don't hope. I don't say that it is a mistake, but the focus, when you are going to hit the target, you need eyes. So the eyes there in making that law where they didn't go to the first technology to adjust the eyes. That's the problem. Now, to best manage, because dialogue, you must integrate all registered political parties. We have elders, we have opinion leaders, we have civic organizations registered which are not practicing politics. We have civil society organizations, all must go there. And these interreligious organizations to balance. It is like when I saw the elections in the internal, but I will not hit the party by mentioning it here. Where you find a chairperson also electing, who will balance when there is, the chairperson is there to balance when you tarry, when there is tarrying. He decides, he cleans. But now you are all there. So, practice is a very fundamental issue. Let us leave this of seeing each other in colors and forms. Let us read the content. What is better for us all? That's what is missing in Uganda. Because now, this comrade of mine sees this one as an oppositional. Let this one be a comrade, fellow political brother. Not bringing everything. Let us play it like a pitch. In the pitch, there are two players, but a football is one. Then these the linesmen and the referee neutral. They are not with you. That's how you will get a fair, free balancing of moving issues for us all. Because we're removing bias. Now most of the things we are doing it out of bias. Because the one who has brought even Parliament is not bringing clean laws. Bias. Because when it comes with me, the independent, they must read what they call DF position, NRM position to champion it, whether it is good for all Ugandans. Let us also learn how to do things like other countries. If it is Uganda, we shall not segment it into many parts. We shall not go with Ministry of Lands to portion it with coordinates. It remains for us all. Which is bad for us all. So we must have one constitution, then we compete. But when it comes to every political party with its own constitution, that one is not politics. It's an issue of me to show this one how schooled, how understandable, better than him. And even the rallies we conduct in the masses, in the supporters there, we go there to show them that we understand most. We don't go there to be informed by them that if you read us like this, it will be better for us. Now it is at the center of every political party to think that what they know is good for me. What is fair for them is better for them. So that in the reforms they are mentioning, a reform should be led by us all. But when it comes by one political party, others will gang either by alliance or by its numbers. Whether it is good, it will be knocked out. This is why we are losing in Parliament. Now in Parliament, there is no exhaustive idea that this idea has been unanimously exhausted by all representatives. It is only by arithmetic. In favor? Yes. Contrary? No. They know, and the favor, you can't go to Parliament, they tell you that they know we are 20 out of 500 and something. The contrary, we are 2. It is just
nay and yea.
It is aroused of by the mammon's noise.
Yes.
That passes it out. Whichever noise echoes back high takes it by the ruling of the right honorable speaker. So therefore, calculate. Are we reading modernity or we are reading some of ancient?
Good question. That leads us into a break. Mr. Vian, thank you so much. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we are going to be now diving into what transpired in Kololo when the NRM was electing its sec. I mean, 2 positions so far have not yet occupied. That is the Entrepreneurs League, where Sad Basad Jabalava and another person were contesting, and it said that a lot of money was being splashed in millions and billions. Hello? We'll be right back shortly. Don't leave us.
Discover delicacy at Cafe, your all-in-one destination. Whether it's the perfect cup of coffee or a satisfying meal, we got you covered. Indulge your cravings with our mouth-watering pilau, savory katogo, crispy chips, and tender chicken. Explore a world of cocktails and fresh juices for a truly special treat. Planning an event? Choose Cafe 2 for top-notch outside catering services. Benefit from ample parking. Stay connected with Wi-Fi and catch your favorite matches on DSTV. Cafe Kafaya 2 offers food deliveries in and around Kampala. Hosting a conference, our center accommodates up to 1,000 people. Need a boardroom for a party or corporate meeting? We've got just the spot for you. We offer a free venue for birthdays and baby showers, providing complimentary photography. For those aspiring to become professional barristers, our barrister school awaits you. Visit us at Albany Center, Level 2 on Ginger Road, Kafaya 2, where every occasion becomes a memorable experience.
Amannya gange mpitibwa Sulaina Nakachwa nga nkola ne BF Suma. Abaami batawanyizibwa obulwadde bwa prostate, tujjanjaba obulwadde bwa prostate enlargement. Otegeera otya ng'olina obulwadde bwa prostate? Okubeera ng'ofuka olumizibwa, okulumizibwa wansi w'olubuto, okufuka omusulo nga gulimu olusaayisaayi, okulumizibwa omugongo, expound capsules. Nti ekuyamba okubeera ng'otambula bulungi mu kisenge. Kugamba amaka ne gabeera nga masanyufu. Expound coffee naye kuyambako. Tulina product ez'enjawulo kwega zijjanjaba obulwadde bwonna obw'enjawulo. Nti omuntu yenna ali eyo bw'obeera n'obulwadde obukusumbuwa, nkubira ku nnamba zange ez'essimu onyinyonnyole oba ojje tukwataganye. Tulinawo ne baddokita ab'enjawulo. Tulina obujjanjabi obulungi. BF Suma yatuleetera product ennungi ziri nakyo 100% tezirina buzibu bwonna. Tulina branch nyingi naye nze ndi wano ku Mabirizi. Osanga discount ennungi gye bampa okusobola okutuusaako abantu bange product zonna bonna basobole ozikozesa. Tukola ne delivery bw'oba tosobodde kujja. Ennamba z'essimu eri 0758 69 29 61.
Brighter life, better future.
Banna Simba Automotives Limited bakuletedde ekyenjawulo ekitabeerangawo. Pikipiki ya Boss CC10 ngumu mpangazi ate nga netisi. Jangu weefunire pikipiki empya tuku ey'ekika kya Boss CC10 ku ssente za nseko buseko. Ate gwe weneeyetaaga ku kibanja mpola Boss CC10 empya leeta bino wammanga. Nangamuntu yo ebbaluwa ya LC stage cover awamu n'abakweyimirira babiri n'ennangamuntu zaabwe ng'ova mu mbeera embi. Tutuukirire leero ku kitebe kyaffe ekikulu Kamocha ku Simba Automotives Limited opposite ne City Oil Mundeba opposite ne Total awamu ne ku matabi gaffe amalala agasoba mu 8 okwetooloola Uganda. Oba otukubireko ku nnamba z'essimu zino wammanga okumanya ebisingawo. Noti 758 222 n'ennamba yaffe etali yakusasulira noti 8 noti 333 be banna aba Simba Automotives Limited.
Live to you from Kampala Road here on Toban Center Building. Is where we're broadcasting from. You're still watching the Dialogue. My name is Edirisa Muwonge, and here I'm with Mr. Amuriat Pascal. He's the Democratic Front Deputy President for Eastern Region. Next to him is his neighbor or brother from the same region, Mr. Tim Levia Konapesa, an NRM diehard.
Is he a diehard? I don't know. I don't know whether it's a diehard. I don't know whether it's a diehard.
I've been with him for quite a while, but it keeps confusing me.
Veteran, historical, professional, teacher.
And Mr. Matovu Senior is the FRONASA, National Coordinator. Mr. Tim,
yes.
Let's start with you. What is it that transpired in the sector? Because for us who are watching on TV, I don't know whether you were there. Were you in Kololo?
I was there.
No, him. I'm asking Pascal.
I was in Gulu.
You in Gulu.
Yes.
Mr. Tim, what is it that did catch our eyes but transpired in Kololo? Is it, first of all, the dishing out of money, stuff like that? What is that you saw that we did?
You see,
that missed the
first
camera?
and foremost, I want to take this moment to thank His Excellency the President, who is the chairperson, for having said a very dynamical and a very, I call it, I don't know how to tell me, but it should have been something that went smoothly for some of us. And then also to the Secretary General and the executive of NRM Secretariat, they really did some wonders in making sure that the process was steered very well. The only onset I can cite is a little bit of what transpired with the youth elections, and then the entrepreneurs league that also became very complicated. So the president himself decided to forward, or rather to postpone those particular elections to a convenient time. I think he should be able to do it by the first, or rather the first week of September, before nominations. One thing that we have to know is that in NRM as a party, it is one that has quite a big percentage of numbers at the moment. And being a party that has a free will of entry and exit, it is upon you to know how you correspond. But like I say, you see, there's a phrase that I know from one of the elders I was sharing with, that stated and said that power, or rather, power is not, or does not reward loyalty, but power rewards relevance. So the current event, or rather the previous event, if you see how the outcome, it shows you where power fell. Power rather went to people that were more relevant at the moment because of the transition of how, or rather what is happening. If you are to look at the statements that were mentioned by the old folks, or rather those that have rather served and then they are not within the executive of NRM, you find that there was lots and lots of conflict of interest. We as NRM party should have united, and this was something that we discussed at length, and I even had a discussion with the few members of parliament that were also part of the delegation. Some things were rather would have been left for closed door meetings before they came open. The fact that we had exchanges amongst top shots of the NRM party, it also indirectly exposes our weaknesses as a political party. I'm also a little bit happy with how, for us in Eastern Uganda, we have Captain Mike Mukula coming at the last moment and stepping down for a colleague. That is Calvin, a child Calvin. Amuriat knows him. I think they're also good friends. We should have contested in the same. Should have contested in the same area of education with you, with Calvin, or rather, but they know themselves. So, what I'm trying to say is that whatever that has happened or transpired within the NRM as a party, this conference should be able to show you currently where the party is falling. The party is directly shifting into the hands of the ones that we perceive as the young people. Those that have been forced and have been riding on the hand of loyalty have been shown what it means to remain relevant towards the party affairs and then political party, or rather NRM as a political party. We had a scenario in State House before the conference. You remember what happened when the third position was being vyed for. The former Right Honorable Speaker, Rebecca Kadaga, unleashed towards the president. And some of the statements did not go well with His Excellency the President. We also have scenarios, possibly what she could have mentioned shifted her vote, or rather her base, her support base. Because nobody wanted to be, or rather, nobody wanted to be at the eyes of the president.
Wait, are you trying to attribute her loss to her expressions? The statement she made,
we're all
without Mini Bosoga, no more.
Let's look at.
You want to
let's
mean
look
that
at
that was the cause of her loss.
Indirectly, it can be indirect or directly. One thing that you should know is that it is even written in the Arts of War: never outshine your master. That happened to a former, Speaker of Parliament. I will not mention his name. In one event, they had gone abroad. The president was there. He stood up and made a very fun, very sounding speech that left everyone shaking. Some of the dignitaries that were in that function
were impressed.
Were very impressed, and in front of the president came and told him that you fit to be the president of the Republic of Uganda. So, an indirect.
Do you want to mention the name of that person?
I will not mention names. I'm just protecting information.
I saw Mr. Vian nodding in agreement with what you're saying.
One thing I want us to know is that when you show your master that you can literally put him on a tight corner, then he will just release you to the enemies. And that is what happened. That he can go behind the scenes.
So, Mr. Tim, now that raised that, what was wrong? Let me take you back to Madam or Ms. Kadaga's, words. She was like, talk the chairman of the party. You have shielded the likes of, as she made the statement, Mr. Chigongo was seated next to her, the vice chairman. Mr. Chigongo, why don't you do the same for me? I have been here. In others, why subjecting me to competition with this young person? And you can't afford her. Shield me. Let me get the position.
The president.
What's wrong with that?
No, the president has it. The president.
But as the president shielded Mr. Chigongo.
The president had a dialogue with the president had a dialogue with these people. The day before they had that presser, or rather before they had that engagement, and he gave each and every one of them room to have this discussed on the round table. The rest discussed and said, we have no problem. Nobody stood up to vie for the position of Alhaji Sigongo. If there was any other person...
Well, before Mr. Babu Captain, also a former panelist on this show,
yes,
he has ever contested for that. And remember how it ended. I don't know how it was done, but he stepped down.
But if you
could tell that the man did do that out of his choice.
But if you are to listen to the statements of Babu said, you see, indirectly or directly, we remain members of NRM as a political party. And if there is anything, then we should be able to live within the adjustments that are made.
But if you portray yourselves as the champions of democracy, how come nobody contests for the chairmanship? Why is that?
There was a young man who came, but I don't know what happened. He's supposed to have picked nominations on Friday before the deadline.
You don't even allow.
I don't know what happened. I think he phoned.
You don't allow.
I think.
But let me bring in Mr. Vian.
But no, before he comes in, let me make a clear sense. You see, NRM as a party has had its structures, and then there's been a lot of adjustments that are going on. Currently, you're seeing that there's a shift from what has been perceived as a static structure into something that's becoming fundamental. And for us, we're very happy. Me as a NRM member or subscriber, I am very happy with the current development. Because out of the whole...
You are not concerned.
Out of the whole structure...
concerned
hold on.
Of the impact this is going to leave.
Out of the whole structure of NRM as a party, there are only two who have served for close to, or rather more than 15 years. There are only two. That is the president and the vice. If you are to read from the second national female chairperson up to the last, all those are new faces. So I believe that is going to be a structure of new ideas.
And you believe that is strengthening the party or weakening it?
Now that's why I'm talking about.
The historicals are working out unhappy.
That is where.
The historicals are working out of the party unhappy.
That is where.
And you're saying that doesn't cause any damage.
What are you talking about? We have CCM of Tanzania. We have ANC of South Africa. We have had historicals work. The Simon Bekis came. We had the Zumas who came. but the party has still remained strong.
Mr.
And
Vian,
won the current election.
that's my concern.
So, as we were speaking about NRM, before my senior comes in, as we're speaking about NRM, having new faces into the system is something that we, as the young ones that are now coming up, should be looking up to. That we should stop playing politics, rather, of loyalty.
Mr. Vian,
politics of
you must have listened to Kadaga. She spoke twice, and in the presence of the president. That's what Otim was referring to. That the way she spoke in front of the president
should have triggered.
It left some of us actually worried. I mean, the way she was attacking him. You're shielding other people. Why not me? In fact, there's where she mentioned that it's as if the president was indirectly asking her to step down in favor of Anita. And she was like, look, me, I patiently waited. Was a backbencher for 7 years. And here, someone you want to just, run through.
Just a small insight to my senior. We had someone serve for 10 years. We had someone serve for another 10 years. And of which, all of them played very formidable factors towards our chairperson. I know the senior will not mention some things for purposes of...
You're not in his head. So, the Vian, I know, he always mentions whatever is on his mind. Carry on, Mr. Vian. My question to you, in fact, it's you who doesn't mention certain things. You have said a number of times. It's you who has mentioned a number of times, said that I don't want to reveal this, I don't want to reveal this. It's you.
He's selfish.
He's selfish. He even conducted research. Remember, I was with you here. When you told me the research I did, these were the findings. I told you, can you share them? He refused to share them. So, Mr. Via, where will this leave the NRM? We are looking at Kadaga, a very unhappy woman. And she was trying to paint a picture that I am the face of Busoga. Busoga has been supporting NRM because of me. Now, if you don't help me stay in SEC, the party support in Busoga may be affected. To what extent could that be true? And you're talking about someone also who some time back mentioned, if it wasn't for her, Museveni would be somewhere in Rwachitula taking care of animals. I looked at that as a huge insult. You talk about a man who took up arms and went and fought for 5 years to come into power. And you're saying you're Mia Kadaga, kept him in power.
There has been a lot of tolerance.
Take it up.
That is amusing, but the problem, generations, the reason why I was joking with this one, that this one is generational. They don't have where they come from and where they are going to. You can't jump one time and add into things like the Baganda say, I wouldn't be into. Whether you are wise or not. Because of without the experience, you must first stagger. Because this is a public matter with science of understanding. Now, what has caused all this? For you, you are eyeing personalities, those who are in a meeting, is neglecting the founders of any process that is helping you. Let me give you how it came to NRM to amend the constitution and involve those vice chairpersons. It began when it was not in the NRM constitution. The first one is Honorable Naduri. Those who formed that agenda, enabling them to consolidate together, they are not with them as at stake. Those who brought the idea, I can mention some. This spokesperson of NEED, Matovu.
Mr. Matovu.
We were together with him in forming that one because we found it not...
Forming what?
Those vice, they were not there in the first constitution of NRM. The first vice, there was that Deputy Chigongo only. These regional vice chairpersons were not there. The first one was Naduri. We found it, these two, the chairperson and the first national deputy chairperson, having a big road. Then we sat in one day, we formed Naduri, came, we tried, we requested them to try it. They agreed, they tried it, it applied. Then they decided to amend the constitution to be for the whole regions within the country. So now that of the women, they did it. That of the women, you need to be steady and calculated. It came later, but you need to be steady, and you need to not to lose your authority. You need to take an upper hand, because in all books in the libraries of the world, I have never seen a book called Men at War. There is that one of the girls at war. Women,
men at work is what you've read.
They even rebelled against God, according to the simple context of theology. So when you are bringing them, no, their claims may influence, may cause some other wars, because most conflicts that may cause emanate from women, according to the research packaged by these researchers, not me. Now let's go direct to the confrontation of the point. In the ancient leadership, in the blueprint, at first, the generations of this level, of these leaders of mine, killed all the leaders. They remained with a king, not knowing how to treat the hide or the skin which the king wears. One of them, of the younger generations who was wise, hid his ancestor. When the king was dying, when the skin was going to kill him, told them that for me, I kept mine. He has a medicine where you can smear and it doesn't tight you. Then they brought that elder. When I see, I will not go with that story, it's very wrong. When I see my elder here supporting those new, what if they turn out to be impatient? And those new, we shall not mention what is not on the dialogue. I am not sure those new, whether they are NRM 100%. Others, I am not sure.
Yourself?
Myself.
That's a concern that Anita herself was raising.
Because
Kadaga was trying to write on that notion.
Because
these
NRM,
ones are new. And you're also raising it again?
In NRM, we have mainstreams and other branches and the pressure group. You need to first research those people. Are they from the mainstreams or they are from the pressure group? When you get a problem that they are the products of the pressure group, pressure will arise. In a context called impatience, they will need
Mr. Via. I don't know if I'm understanding, but I see the point you're trying to raise, that you are questioning the total loyalty of these people just because they have joined. And the same point Kadaga was trying to raise, that these have just joined for us, we've been here since the inception of the party. But
in Kadaga's...
What's religion do you subscribe to, sir?
Myself, I'm a Christian.
If I converted to Christianity tomorrow or today, does that make a better Christian than me in front of God?
Of course not.
Before God, no, but in terms of leadership.
So,
in terms of leadership, the Bible says you cannot...
There's seniority also.
You cannot give a novice. The word is clear, a novice.
Okay.
You can't give a novice to leadership. Okay. And that is the Bible context. I'm not saying it's a political context.
I use that as an example. If okay, how about DF? If I just joined DF today, the person I found there, is that person, does he enjoy certain privileges that I shouldn't enjoy because I've just joined?
Again, you have to go through a process. We have to measure your commitment, your loyalty. I don't think that they would want to give anybody who has not proven anything.
So come to me, Mr. Vianney. That point, Ms. Kadaga was raising
to Mr. Vianney's, to Elder Vianney's, submission. When I mentioned here that power is not rewarded by loyalty but by relevance. What was I meaning? I was meaning that the current shift in the leadership of NRM is depicting that narrative. And the elder here has just mentioned that you see, there is a transformation. Yes, it's true. But are you sure if the people that are the new leaders within the executive of NRM, are you sure that they are purely NRM?
And
have also
I think let us judge them according to what they've done.
No,
in the shortest time
you have also seen
that Anita has been NRM, haven't you felt her impact? That lady has mobilized. She has brought so many people to the NRM. She even said that herself. Are you still questioning her loyalty?
Let me help you. In researches of these people, not me, who didn't go to school. When you research, you come out with facts. Now the fact is, this Anita Among coming with overwhelming number. In political science, we don't call them supporters. They are infiltrators, because where they are coming from, they are calling them defectors. They are not pure people. They defect.
But going by that, Mr. Vian,
if I am
members of any political party.
That's why.
Let's address this issue.
Friend of mine is talking of screening.
Let's address this
because
issue.
You defected and you are a betrayer.
Mr. Vian, all members of any political party at the moment, the biggest percentage of them never started in those political parties. They came from somewhere. Beat Museveni, who's the founder of the NRM. His original UPC has been telling us, or DP. Look at the members of the NUP. They have somewhere they came from. So I don't think we should always be using that to haunt them with their past, as if it was a crime for them to cross from the political parties where they were to these new political parties. We should just judge them by what they have done. And talk about a person like Anita Among. I mean, what she has done. Herself, I saw her bragging, blowing her trumpet. Look at what I've done. I've mobilized. I brought people into the NRM. Isn't it what politics is all about? Having numbers. Let me bring in Mr. Amuriat. Yes, you don't want to use the NRM as an example, but don't you think there's something that you should learn? Either for a good...
No, let him use NRM because we need to know.
Okay. Yes. What transpired in Kololo as the NRM were, electing their SEC members? What are the lessons that you took as the newest political party on the block?
I think it's important to note that political conflict can best be sorted through elections. The only way which is credible and generally acceptable that you can solve a political conflict, especially in an election, is for you to subject them to be chosen by individuals of an electoral college or whatever means that the constitution of that party or the country provides for. And so what NRM did was to decide that political positions are going to be competed for. And in one part, of course, if we do an assessment of what happened and the challenges of that democracy, which I'm going to do shortly, is for us, all of us to learn. For us, one of the learnings that you must subject people to a primary, if it is possible, where the consensus failed, then there is no choice but to subject people to an election. The problem I have with what happened in NRM is that NRM is the ruling government. 2, it is supposed to be the epitome of democracy. They are supposed to show us how democracy should be, because they are the ones that are running affairs of government. And so when I see what happened in Kololo, when I see how Professor Tanga Odoi was counting, and now it is trending over social media, 180 what, and each person was equivalent to about 10 votes, 180, 190, 200. And I can tell you, a professor at that level deciding to lower himself and lose integrity before cameras, and the way I saw it myself, it is trending. I know many of you have seen it. It is shameful. It must not happen. It should never have happened. It should have come from another person, because Tanga is at that top level, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. So for me, I keep asking myself, but why did Professor do this? What happened? That's a learning. And like I said, it should never happen anymore. Because voting by lining is supposed to be the most transparent, ideally. But there's an abuse. There's an abuse of the counting. There's an abuse of the process. The other thing that you saw, some members were pulled out of the line. Pulled out of the line, and there were fights. I imagine that those fights were because you have
they're not delegates.
No, you have eaten the money of my candidate. You are lining the other side. Why do you eat my money and again go this side?
No, so that was not the case. The case was that some of them were infiltrators. They were not true delegates of the party.
Well, on one part. But on the other part, money was exchanged.
But everyone who entered there had the tag.
Yeah, everybody had.
So
the issue was
an issue of infiltrators. You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear about infiltration.
It only came in when the entrepreneurs began complaining.
Yeah, but for me,
but what he's saying, here is making an exaggeration. A dishonest exaggeration. That one would pull out others. You ate my money.
I am not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating.
But there were scenarios of that kind.
I am telling you what I saw being shared.
You ate my money.
You ate my money, and you are standing in the other line. Anyway. I will share with you.
Did you see
and the saga of? They were fighting.
Didn't you see the saga of Honorable Kasolo and this man from Kayunga?
Karangwa. Yes, I've seen him actually crying.
Yeah, so the issue is that
fainted.
You take my money and line in another line. Which, of course, if we are to do an assessment, did we need secret ballot or did we need lining? Because
but a good thing, as you continue, just a second, the chairman has established a tribunal to handle all these queries.
Reconciliation.
Of course, that is now managing systems and processes. You can be sure, as a politician, that nobody's election will be annulled.
But it worked for the primaries. For the primaries. Didn't it settle the dust? The tribunal was
like, for example, in Teso, is there an election which was redone? How many elections did the tribunal annul and say you repeat the election?
They didn't necessarily have to annul.
But the issue, what I'm trying to tell you is that this is a conflict management process. This tribunal is just to manage to say, okay, can you guys work together? What happened? All that is going to take place. Because the party, I imagine, would like to reconcile some of these individuals. Until recently, I saw Kadaga write a letter congratulating our colleague and colleagues who won elections. You saw what Captain Mukula did. He said, for me now, I step aside. But the question for me is, the process needs to be evaluated, and there are changes.
You spoke of Mr. Mukula stepping aside. Was it in good spirit?
It wasn't.
It was like Mr. Sanjitan.
For me, what I saw with
but the day before he stepped down, he had already complained about voluminous or rather large volumes
of sums of money. What I can tell you, Captain Mukula had already read the game. It was not in his favor.
Yes.
He knew he was
losing. Applies to Sanjitan.
Yeah, so when someone when a leader like Captain Mukula and Sanjitan say, I think this process is already tampered with, it is not fair. And so they decided to pull out. Instead of embarrassing yourself with a loss, rather you surrender. Because it's already. So there was.
So what lessons are you taking as members of
the DF? For us, what we are taking is that we
are most likely to see things happen in your party. And they're going to be worse. Because why I'm saying they're most likely to be worse. You have a chairman of the electoral commission also engaging in elective politics. Here you are blaming Tango Odoi, who's not even, who has less interest. The only interest he has is because the son was contesting. What about in DF where the chairman himself,
okay,
the chairman of the electoral commission?
The electoral commission, the commission, at the moment it reaches a position where you have interest or you have a conflict of interest, you must step aside. And I can be sure when Honorable Lubo was positioned, he has not even expressed interest yet.
I saw his posters.
You could have seen posters, but he hasn't officially picked forms. At least I'm sure. He's a chairman. We are all on hearsay. Supposing tomorrow.
He hasn't picked forms from himself.
He hasn't from himself. First listen, from the party. First listen. Like I said, what I know, the Honorable Lubowa in his right mind will do. He will officially resign from that position.
Oh yeah.
And go and pick forms from the commission.
That's the part I was waiting for.
Yes.
So he has to resign his position.
Yes. If the moment he says he wants to pick forms.
Had you told us that earlier, I wouldn't have.
First listen. What he will have to do is to resign from that position and say I'm no longer.
That's what the constitution says.
Yes. And then he picks forms and a new commissioner will be there. No, that's why I was saying the moment the Honorable Lubowa expresses interest, he will have to step aside and allow others to handle the process. And this is...
What about the regional presidents?
The regional president...
Like yourself?
Like myself.
Why shouldn't you also resign your position?
From deputy president?
Yes, because you may use your influence.
My issue is I can't resign the position because it is not... It has nothing to do with the local county position that I'm interested in. It has something to do with my responsibility of organizing and mobilizing for the party. It has nothing to do with to say, okay, now if someone comes, they express interest, and they, if the constitution...
Use your influence to strangle them so that you...
What do you mean influence? The individuals who have...
You are the president. These people are meant to bow before you. How are they supposed to come and protest against you?
On one part, they can bow before me. On another part, I'm not the most well-resourced candidate. There are individuals who have much more money, if money is one of the areas of influence, who can express interest, who have even made, you can be a leader, elected leader, but people can say, we want another person. You saw what has happened in SEC. If you want to know the truth, see what happened in NRM. Apart from like Alhaji Moses Kigong and the chairman, the rest of the elected leaders are now new. So I don't think for me that is an area of fear. Many people can pick forms against you and win you, even if you are in a serving capacity. I think that what the fear should be for you is whether or not there will be a primary, if someone accepts. But for me, the moment there's a primary, I will go for it. If I win, better. If I lose,
DF is ready to front a presidential candidate come 2026?
Like we're saying, we have opened it up. There's a criteria if you want to be president.
So far, besides Mpuga, is interested?
Mpuga is the party president. But Mpuga may decide not to pick forms for presidents. He may decide. It is a personal decision. Because our constitution allows any party member who has the minimum requirement to go and be flag bearer. So if, for example, Honorable Mpuga doesn't want, Honorable Mukaku may want. He may want. The Secretary General may want. Honorable Mabike. Another party member, Dr. Bed, may want. Because in DF we have about 3-4 people who have contested. Honorable Mukaku, Dr. Babed. These are all senior. We have people who qualify.
Okay. I also have this point out, just out of curiosity. You just mentioned Mr. Mabike there. A man I knew that he owns a whole political party.
Yes.
And now he is a member of your own political party. Has he, stopped the other political party from functioning?
You see, there was an MOU.
How can you belong to
First, listen. There was an MOU preceding DF coming through. I told you many political parties, SDP, PDP, members of GEMA Advocacy Group, Team My Leader, and different actors came together and said, let us only agree that DF is our political party. And the MOU signed. And so what I can tell you, SDP...
Did it die?
Is not dead, but it is swallowed up in DF. It's like when you look at the ANC. ANC is a collection of different political parties. CCM is a collection of different political parties under one umbrella. So this is somehow new in the Ugandan context, but it is what is going to even be the future, according to me. They might
so you want to be the umbrella of NUP, all these other political parties?
I'm not saying we want to be. Again, it's about agreeing and consent. Like, for example, if yesterday we were having some of this conversation, if we don't feel the presidential candidate, we may decide to support any other opposition candidate or decide not to support any, depending on what NEC and SEC agrees, what members decide is strategic for the party.
Okay.
So we have not said we don't want to have a presidential candidate. We have left it open to the members. If a member comes up now...
It's clear you're going to have one. It's so clear.
So if,
you're going to have one.
If Honorable Mpuga decides I'm going to be...
No question about that. He has to.
Yeah, so if he decides to, we will support him because he has expressed interest and is the president. As you know that he hasn't yet expressed interest for Masaka Nyendo Mukongwe.
Like I said,
it's still open. Even as we are waiting, I am waiting for my president. Whether he will pick forms or will say, Deputy President, I'm picking forms. I have, for as long as he accepts and is willing to provide the leadership, so be it. But he may not also. You understand? He may not choose. So it's still open. We cannot answer it. We have a few days to picking forms. They're about 10 days.
10 days, yes.
10 days to pick forms. So we are all waiting. In the next 10 days, we shall have SEC and NEC decide. So maybe on Monday or Tuesday, we're having that meeting to make a decision, people say, okay, we are now in a crisis, the days are going. Nobody is expressing it. So what do we do? Members can say, let status quo remain. Let us continue engaging and mobilizing the country for an election, but also for change. But let me get back to our learning from the NRM. For us, our learning is that there are things that must never happen. And this is why we are pushing for reforms. We cannot have a democracy in this manner. One of the challenges we have in our democracy is the over-commercialization of politics. And there are proposals to decommercialize.
I don't know why.
To decommercialize.
I don't know why you're attached. And let me say this.
The commercialization of politics, first
to decommercialize.
I don't know why.
For politics to go commercial.
You are misunderstanding the NRM. Why do you?
I am not even saying it is only NRM.
Why attaching? No, this is what I want to say.
I am only saying that the whole of Uganda, politics is commercialized. What we seek to do.
Why do you attach the word democracy to NRM? Who told that? In fact, that's why you mentioned that NRM is the epitome of democracy.
No, it is supposed to be. I said it is supposed to be. It is supposed to be. It is supposed to be the epitome.
Do you feel the democracy you talk about in NRM?
There's democracy.
It is supposed to be.
If there was, listen, Mr. Amuriat, if there was democracy like he's saying, we wouldn't have two big positions like the chairmanship and the vice chairmanship not being contested for. Shielding them for particular people for this long.
There was a resolution for sole candidates.
Then why should you constitute democracy? There's no democracy anywhere.
If three-quarters of the
members, if you want to emulate any political party in terms of democracy, his NRM is not a good choice. I can tell.
We have had all that.
Well, that's why I was saying.
UPC, there has been a cocooned caveat for presidency. Nope, no one can even step that position.
So for me, these conversations are not for DF.
DF also has that cocooned thing. As executive, they are going to front that. Now you look at me.
No, we have not yet started. So it is wrong to presume. Yeah. But my point is, our discussion is that we need a better democracy. And there are proposals that we believe can help this country. How do we decommercialize politics? Because it's a challenge for all of us. If I'm going to contest in Soroti East, he knows he has been a candidate. You know the amount of monies that are required by the population. We need to see and have a strategy to decommercialize. Because,
good point.
And if we want to decommercialize, it is not just about NRM.
But how
it is not about DF.
How are you going to do that? Because it cuts across even members of the opposition.
How do we want
to use money?
No, the issue is we are using money. It is true.
So it's not only about the NRM.
It's not. Yes, it's not an NRM.
It's typical of Uganda's
politics.
And how are you going to change that?
Like I said, like I said, we have a constitution. We have constitutional proposals, and among them is we want to pull out the face of the candidate and front the face of the party, so that you and me don't even put posters. Because the moment you put me, you are putting me as to be vulnerable before the voters. But also we want to protect the voter from exploitation. So there are two things: protect the voter, but also protect the candidate. And how
who's exploited? Is it the voter or the candidate?
Both are exploited.
It's the candidate who's exploited. These voters also.
Yes, but also the voter. I can tell you in my place, a voter will have 4 party cards: NRM, DF, UPC, and every time he comes, he's also opportunistic. That's what I'm saying. But you see, my issue is you have a voter who is waiting. Which candidate is coming?
You just talked about the other was pulled out of the line. That you ate my money.
Yes,
Mr. Timothy end with this. Yes. Are you going to 3 minutes and so with Mr. Vian? Kadaga's statement. Without me in the picture, that is without me in sake, there's a huge price the NRM is going to pay in Busoga.
It's true. Yeah, we have already began getting statements from Busoga region. And to be honest with you, during the NRM primaries, majority of the people that were against the Right Honorable Speaker Kadaga did not make it through the primaries. And the ones that were for Kadaga were heavily fought. So you can see that even in the voting of SEC, majority of the regions did not vote. In Teso, there's only one person from Katakwi who voted. In West Nile, 0. We look at Central here, also a handful. In Western Uganda, I think it was 54, 65 people who voted for Rebecca Kadaga. Now, in Busoga, there was a split. Out of, I think, 900 or 1,000 votes, both shared, I think, 400 something. So almost 50-50. Now, to the people that have been looking at Kadaga as one of the pillars politically in Busoga region are not at par. Of course, and I'm going to be very honest, even with whoever is listening. If the president gets this information, he should be able, because you see, at the end of the day, he stood up and said, the Right Honorable should not involve his people or Busoga into her narratives. But in one way or another, we also remember last time when Kadaga lost the position to Olanya, to the late speaker Olanya. See what happened in Busoga. NUP, as a political party, pulled up to a certain percentage, including in Kamuli district where she comes from. The president could not make it. It was NUP, it was Bobby Wine who won. So, with the current status, possibly because we're seeing that the current Speaker of Parliament has an affiliation in Busoga, possibly leverage a little because of her mobilization skills or capabilities.
And her marital status.
And then, yes, then the marital status. That can also work. Because we have a senior man who happens to be her own, that is also vying, yes, that's also vying for a particular position in the Busoga region. So, suppose that's going to be a little bit, that a little bit is going to leverage. But to be honest with you, what has transpired, possibly Busoga as a region will not understand it directly, that possibly it was as a result of voting. Most of them were fronting that possibly if the president has given leeway to Alhaji Chigongo, then he should have equally done it for number 3 in the NRM executive. So the Busoga possibly were looking at the elects, but then we also don't know. We're trying to do. We're continuing to do more assessment of the ground. I was in touch with some of the political intel that is trying to do mapping and then come up with the statistics. And that possibly will be this coming week or so. But to be honest with you, the outcome of the election partly will affect NRM's vote.
I want to agree with him that Kadaga is not a small person. Kadaga has made members of parliament. Kadaga has made people's livelihoods better in Busoga. She's the voice, and she has been the voice of Busoga. And so the Busoga identify her as one of the regional leaders in their area. And so to humiliate Kadaga,
But who humiliated Kadaga? I want to understand this notion. Who humiliated her?
Did you hear what she said?
Here she is engaged in an election.
She said,
contesting against another person who's interested in taking over.
But you say, Kadaga,
who's humiliating her?
Kadaga in her statement said she was humiliated during the speakership election.
No.
Against the
She's the one humiliating herself. Because they have that unwritten rule. You serve for 2 terms and you step aside. And by the way,
to be honest with you, Edirisa, the resolutions in the 9th Parliament, remember when the presidential term limits were removed by the former Vice President, that is Sekandi. There was a resolution that came out in State House, and Kadaga herself said that, you see, the Right Honorable Sekandi has served for close to 10 years. There should be an amendment made, and of which it went into voting. Instantly, Sekandi stood up and spoke of saying that he is stepping aside from vying for speakership. Now, let's resolve on the 10. So, it was a resolution that was made.
Exactly.
By
and Kadaga didn't want to
10 years as a speaker, 10 years as the deputy speaker, and then 10 years as a speaker.
Herself.
After 10 years, Olanya, the late Olanya also said, but you see, the resolution is
but I think
under the
I was trying to build my argument on the basis that Kadaga, in her right mind, believes she has made a huge contribution to NRM.
Yeah, for 30 something.
Yeah, and we cannot take it for granted. And she believes she deserves better. She said, why are you protecting Alhaji? And
honestly speaking,
yes, so she believes
Alhaji's equivalent in Museveni's perspective. Is she Alhaji's equivalent?
Say Kadaga, she may not be Alhaji's equivalent, but in her heart she believes that she should be given that level of treatment that befits her as Kadaga because of her contribution and the capacities she has served in. And so to be humiliated by a younger, and this is what the Right Honorable Banita says, my mother, you know,
to be humiliated by a daughter.
She subjected herself to an election. Let me bring Mr. Vian. The question I pointed out to Mr. Otim is the same question I want you to address. Here she says, without me in the picture, without me in sake, you may pay a huge price, through the party may pay a huge price in Busoga. And remember, we are nearing the general elections. So, to what extent could that statement be true? Now that Kadaga was beaten, he's out of the
the problem.
This is going to impact the party.
And the disease is cheap politicking. Even though I don't know how to read and write, in the speech of Kadaga, there was no Busoga, there was community. At the level of Kadaga and the seniority, what these two comrades have exhausted is national in character, not regionally. But the raw, punitive warfare, these laws which they make negligently, they are the ones pushing that picture to Kadaga being a Musoga. If we can change the speaker, let representative come, then the speaker comes out to form the real word Parliament of Uganda, so that the speaker can come out of those representatives, contest the representatives' vote. We have a neutral speaker, not going to DF, not these ones claiming is ours. That picture can be eroded away. Secondly, in her submission, there was casting out those who started and built the party, creating a room for new entrants. Not to Busoga. Moving an eye opener for the foundations. Everything has a foundation when you are building. Was warning them not to wreck the foundation, not to dismantle the foundation. But because of cheap politicking, branding, they branded her of Busoga. Let me give you what we...
Mr. Vian confirmed that it's not the first time that Ms. Kadaga makes such a statement. Even in the past, she has made it before. Trying to, portray an image of her that without seeing the picture, President Museveni may stop enjoying the support. The support is enjoying in Busoga. It's not the first time she's saying that. She has said that before. That she has helped President Museveni, to always win support in Busoga. So this time around, she may not have uttered out the word Busoga. But for someone we know that previously she has always said it, we thought that's what she meant.
That of Busoga, let me help my brother. All those researches you are doing, don't neglect people. You always go to these high caliber people who are compounding those mistakes. I am sure nobody who can accuse herself or himself. When you go to Busoga, like where NUP has put their regional office, you had another DC there who made all that mammoth crowd and support was your worker from the office of the president, of the chairman, but is the one who dismantled there, and now for you, because of lacking information, is in Bugwere with your flag. So when you have somebody who is not of your heart, this is why President Museveni is with the problem. They made him knock by the word professionalism. He was used with those people who can sacrifice and be member of parliament and be army and be servant to without money. As this one is crying of money in politics. But the word professionalism brought those, because we were not steady, to make free education. Those who sold, most of the educated in Uganda, sold their property. They have loans. Those people, there is no way how you can decommercialize because they have a loophole to plug. Take an example. If I can sell all of my children to go to school, we were in our home, we are in a rented house. How do you expect from my children? They have to root. So now in Uganda, don't keep coming with the support. Go by what UPM, when we were together, before separating with you, you went to NRM, I remained in UPM. We had only one word: clean leadership. Clean. You can't be clean when you have wrongs and debts. And even at Parliament there, the reason why these commissions of the Parliament go by law to create minutes to dish out money to the member of Parliament is only that the day of swearing in of the Parliament, all banks are within the precincts of Parliament. All those who sell vehicles at loan, they are there, tempting them to take loans and get a problem of cheating the nation. Somebody with what to a loophole to fear cannot be clear, however much he was born, however much Islamic Christian, and was born with a clean heart. With that influence and the necking, the rope in the neck can cause him tempted to take the money. Okay. This is why you see we don't have steady, sacrificing leaders. To decommercialize, we must have a body checking Parliament. But if you leave Parliament to take the, let me tell you, in these roles you are making,
as you wind up,
in these roles you are making, the country doesn't have money. Which has money is Parliament. They formed a law. It is called appropriation. Appropriation is a theory and a philosophy of hunters. After killing an animal, they share on their participation. And we are very happy it is a good law, because we don't sensitize the laws we have, because we decided to read what we call punitive lawfare.
Yes.
Making laws helping this one to be okay and punishing the other. That's what is in the Parliament of Uganda.
Okay. I'm afraid we can't exceed this point. Mr. Vianney Ngoma, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, Mr. Tim Levia Konapesa as well. And thanks so much, Mr. Amuriat Pascal. Why do you give me that face?
I am not giving you that.
It's not only me who tried to say it before we leave.
No, I have no problem. I'm just listening in your concluding remarks.
Okay, but was I fair the DF?
You have, this is a debate, it's a dialogue.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amuriat, and greetings to my friend, Mr. Lubowa and Mr. Lubega Mokaku. Those are my men. I always have them on the dialogue here. Thanks so much. Our dear viewers, we've come to the end of this edition of The Dialogue. My name is Edirisa Muwonge. So glad you could watch, and we expect you to watch again. Till we meet again, goodbye for now. See you then.
This is BTM. We transform.